so just roll in with whatever you're doing.
Okay, folks, welcome back to Baling Wires Old Iron. It's been a while. I've had a lot going on, and I've got Copper here with me, and we were just working here in the shop. We've got a clean spot right here. We put some new lights right above us, but we've got an empty spot here. And if you follow this channel, you know that we can't have that. So we're going to go out and we're going to get a forgotten project and get it in here and get started on it. So I've got Copper here. He's going to help me out. We're going to go outside and get what we call Ernie. Ernie, we're going to bring Ernie in and we're going to get ready to get Ernie on the road. And later on in this video, I'll let you know why. Okay, so everybody stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to try to talk over the wind. It's really windy out here. But right here, this frame, this is what we call Ernie. Copper's getting ready to put some wheels on it. We're going to pull it up to the shop. But Ernie is a 1969 Chevrolet C20. Right there's the bed, the doors, and the hood. I'll have to show you guys the cab later. But this is Ernie. And later on I'll tell you the story and explain to you why we call this big Ernie. But this is what we're doing. We're getting ready to hook up to this and take it up to the shop. It's getting cold, the wind's blowing, we want to get back inside. So I'm gonna let you go and here we go. All right, get the wheels on. All right, we got the tires on Ernie's frame. Let's go get the tractor and we'll get it inside.
All right, here it comes. Okay, let me move this block. You're gonna run it over. All right, let her rip. We probably should have thought about that.
That's sorry.
Probably made for a funny little video clip.
Woo! Shut our camera off.
Yeah.
Man, I have got to get some shims in that starter. That starter on old James needs shimmed pretty bad. Sounds terrible, doesn't it?
You know, as much as carburetors are now, Dave, you'll tell you if I was only like $700. Well, old James definitely needs some starter shims, huh? I gotta turn this way. Where's that? Hold on, you're plowing stuff. There, that should be straight.
Another side ain't turning. Ready?
Yeah. Hello? Hold on. Hold on.
Long for interval, coming up solid.
It's not gonna roll. Well, it's in here. Oh, sorry. What are you caught on? I accidentally said an F-bomb in front of the internet. Make sure Austin throws a, like a wooga horn or something over that. Because we gotta keep our stuff PG. And I definitely just made it PG-13.
Okay.
Or maybe we'll just dump some cowboy music over today.
Okay, you need to let me.
Yeah, you need to go.
Give this way just a little bit.
Yeah. And then I need to go this way.
What do you think, right there?
Yeah.
Straighten your wheels up.
Yeah.
Might have to get your pry bar. Now you got it.
It's always kind of messed up now. Sitting on it's fine. Okay. I'm gonna fix it.
Okay, well, let's get your truck in here and get this thing down on the ground.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. We filled the hole. Ernie's in there.
Like half of Ernie.
Right, yeah, just the bones of Ernie. I'll tell you, I've got almost everything to get old Ernie going. I've been wanting to get him going for a while. I just acquired some other stuff a while back, and that's going to help me get Ernie on the road. And I'm really looking forward to Ernie. Like I said, it's a 69 C20 two-wheel drive, and we're going to leave it that way. But I've got some goodies to put in it, and it is green. It is almost just like the truck that I learned to drive on. But the truck that I learned to drive on was a half ton. Same color, about the same year. And I've got another story I'll tell you all about Ernie. It's just, like I said before, these projects usually find me. So here, after a while, I'll tell you a story about Ernie. tell you a story about Ernie.
Hey, look. It's old Hank 3. Little newer than Hank. Little less beat up than Hank. Not real rusty, but sure got a lot of dents. It's a quality unit, you know. I really appreciate the finer things in life, and having a truck that's not a complete turd is quite nice. Listen to that. That's what $100 on Amazon sounds like. Full stainless cat bag. Kind of hate the wheels, love the tires. Can't go wrong with a BF Goodrich. Interior, you know, it's there mostly. I mean, you know, mostly, not 100%. Heated seats still work though. I'll give you a little more of an in-depth tour when I get this thing inside the shop here in a little bit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, got some news for you. It may not have seemed so obvious, but Hank's gone, and he's been gone for a while, like 6-7 months now probably. You know, he made the trip to Des Moines, and then about a week later, I kind of decided that it's not always good to get back with your ex, you know, just because it was my high school truck. I was really just holding on to sentimental value with an old broke busted beater, you know, wrapped around that. And you know, between the $100 or so a week in gas, the, you know, terrible ride, you know, just I kind of got tired of it real fast. And so Hank's gone now. He will definitely never be in another video. Kind of sent him to a death sentence. Guy up in northern Iowa bought him, so he'll probably be rusted to death in, you know, a year or two. But here's his replacement. You know, we're gonna call him Hank 3. You know, he's a little newer. You know, may not sound the same, look the same, but you know, sometimes you just fall upwards. You know, you just find a deal too good to be true, and you just end up with something way nicer than what you should have. I'll go ahead and give you all the dime tour real quick. Hank 3 is a 2000 Chevy half-ton. Those wheels, you know, just hate the wheels, love the tires. BF Goodrich are great. And he's got a little bit more metal than Hank did, but here in a minute when I'm crawling around underneath it, I'll show you that looks can kind of be deceiving. But he's not real rusty. He is dented as can be. I mean, there is not really a straight panel on this truck. Well, you know, this is the pretty side, but the driver's side is dented all to hell. And then, of course, you know, a 5.3 liter. You absolutely cannot beat these. The hill I'm willing to die on is this is the best engine GM ever made, bar none. For a truck with 280,000 miles, old Hank 3 kind of just runs way better than I ever thought he would. And you know, it's one of those things. I upgraded without even really realizing it. I got a truck that's a lot nicer than what I had. So the interior here, it's a little rough. That airbag is yeah, been deployed. Per the previous owner, this truck's undefeated against deer, 3-0. And heated seats still work somehow miraculously. Got a cassette deck with a Randy Travis tape stuck in it. And of course it's a 4-wheel drive model, you know. probably gonna end up picking up one of these in two-wheel drive, maybe like a Suburban or a Yukon or something. But you know, it's just nice to have a four-wheel drive truck around these parts. All right, got something I want to show you here on old Hank 3. You know, I said it's, you know, he's got rockers, or does he? Let's go in here and see. You know, see, it has outer rockers. I mean, kinda. They are there for the most part. You know, just the inner rockers and what's left, or really the lack thereof. You know, that's, you can definitely tell this was an Iowa truck. It's not the roughest I've had, but you know, it's definitely far from rust free. One more thing I want to show everybody is, you know, that $100 on Amazon will buy you a no-name catback exhaust, and it was a bear to get on there. It took 3 of us. It was very unpleasant. Alright, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Just doing an oil change on old Hank 3 here, but I wanted to touch on something real quick. So, I have converted. I mean, I have talked plenty of crap over the years on Pennzoil, but those boys over there, they're doing something different, and I kind of like what's going on. So, they're Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic. It's not just a synthetic. It's made from natural gas. There is absolutely no crude oil in this product whatsoever, and I've been looking at some like testing and such. I really like the way it performs, and there's a channel I watch from time to time that it's called the Motor Oil Geek. That guy, he will just talk about parts per million of this, that, and the other, and why you should use this oil over that oil. And you know, if somebody that cares that much about oil seems to like this stuff, I figured I'd give it a try too. There you go.
Okay, folks, so this is the next weekend, and I've got Copper here with me. He's giving me a hand this evening. So we've got Ernie in here, and I told you guys I'd tell you a little bit about Ernie. So I've had this truck. It's a 1969 C20. It originally had a 307 and a 4-speed in it. The body was not really in bad shape other than the cab. The floor and the firewall was just shot. And the bed and the fenders are actually in really good shape. It's got really nice patina on it. So let me tell you how I acquired Ernie. I got a phone call from a guy, a county over and a few towns over from us. And he says, well, I hear that you're into these pickups. And I said, yeah, that's true, I am. And so I went and looked at it. And at first I thought, I got to take this home, because it was the same color, same year as the, I would call it a teal green or aqua green 69 Chevrolet that I learned to drive on in not cornfield, but the cow pastures out in Kansas. And I thought, this thing's probably wanting to go home. So I looked at it a little bit, and I got in it, and I took it down the road, and it was pretty rough. And got it back. I started looking at it, and on the bed, it came from, originally, Helena, Missouri. So I thought, well, I told this guy, I said, I think this rig's wanting to come home. So I get it home, I do some investigation, and come to find out the farm that Ernie was originally purchased for was right next door. Our neighbors, not the neighbors that live there now, but the people that were there at the time, that was their farm. So Ernie just wanted to come back home. So, you know, a lot of times these rigs find me. So what we've got here, like I said, it's a 69 C20. I've got this Vortec engine that actually came out of a 2000 Southwestern Bell utility truck. A few videos ago, I showed you guys that we had a utility truck we were taking parts out of. So this is something I got acquired. This is the engine I'm wanting to put in it. Right here, I've got an MV4500, which is basically a 5-speed transmission that they used through the 90s and early 2000s. And that's going in this. So tonight, we're going to get this frame kind of ready to go, and we're going to get the engine and transmission mocked in there. I've got a cross member that I've bought to put in here. I bought some new motor mounts that we're going to put in here, and we're going to get it mocked up because I need to get this engine to the engine rebuilder so he can get on it. And speaking of getting on it, so here's the plan for Ernie. I have signed up for the Power Tour this year. Signed up, all ready to go, all paid, everything's ready to go. This is the rig that I've got set up for that. Now, granted, if I need to, I have other rigs that I can take, but the plan is I'm wanting to take Ernie. So that is, today is, what, the 23rd of February? And Power Tour is June 9th, so I've got just a little over 3 months. And I'm gonna have to book it. Now granted, I do have pretty much everything for this. I've actually got another cab for Ernie too. When we get to the cab, I'll show you guys what's going on with it. I actually kind of looked out with it because I found another green cab, the right color. And but it's got some problems too. But nowhere near as much as problems as what Ernie's cab did. But this is Ernie. Copper and I is going to get started here. I think we're going to get you guys set up on a tripod. And we're going to cut this exhaust out, take the wiring out, take some of these brackets out. We're going to make this transmission and engine together. We're going to set it down in there. Come over here. Come over this bench over here. Here's some of the parts we got for Ernie. So I am going to convert him over to disc brakes. I've had this for several years. Actually, not long after I got Ernie, I bought this setup because I knew this was what I was wanting to do. And here is a advanced adapters bell housing, because that bell housing was set up to where it mounted on that cross member. It had big rubber mounts mounted on a cross member. We're going to do away with that. The pressure plate, clutch, and here's more stuff for the front end. But that's what we're going to work on. We're going to get that mocked up in there. My plan is to get it mocked up in there and get the engine back out of it and take it to the engine rebuilder this week. So we can get started on that. But this is what we're going to be working on for a while. We're probably working on James a little bit and Jimmy. I've got some work I'm going to do to Jimmy too. We're going to be kind of all over the place. So it's going to be a humping here for a while. But we'll get you guys on a tripod and we'll get to it. All right, we're going to make the engine and transmission up. We got everything else ready to go.
You guys been wanting a promo model?
Hey, I want to do a shout out.
A super fancy one, but it is a beautiful.
If you can hear, that's Chad from Nobodies. Aaron and I's out here doing this work, listening to Nobodies on a Sunday. So hi everybody at Nobodies.
So,
all right, let's get with it.
We're going to sell you this one.
And you can listen to Chad in the background. He's selling stuff on auction.
In the box, 1975 Monza.
Ooh.
So not the most desirable.
New old stock.
Condition is exceptional. Straight out of the box, not mixed up, not chipped up. And there again,
Do I need to come down?
these
Just
cars
go.
are kind of starting to get a little bit of a following. So kind of a cool piece. Nothing else on the box. It is basically a plain white box.
Stop and
other
get over
than
here.
75 Monza on the end of it.
Over here.
So,
Nice one.
There we go. There is a pro. I've got one other one in. I don't know if we'll get to it tonight or not, but I told you we'd get one of them squeezed in. 1975 Monza.
Way too long.
Dual stock basically in the box on this promo. So, unless we have no Monza fans, I don't see what doesn't look like we have any Monza fans on there. Track Mike was a Monza fan, but he got rid of his Monza. Kevin L, 25.
Probably.
No.
Great piece, even though not the most popular car. There again, you know, some of these promos are getting so hard to find that even some of the more common ones are getting to be have a little bit of value. John, 27. I'm gonna show you guys another plate.
And we'll end up probably time lapsing this or something, right?
Condition
We're
is
on
excellent.
mic now.
It's kind of, I don't know what it is. It's a different state, so I don't know anything about it. Going up north to Ohio.
No, I got this one left.
And it's kind of odd, but condition is excellent. It's been used because it's got a couple scratches in it. From
We'll just
1966.
go and make sure all these are.
I don't even know if this is even anything anybody would like.
We'll
But
clean up that
it is a
hole.
metal stamp tag, PL54. So it's kind of an odd number. Obviously, condition is crazy good on it. We can see it's got a few scratches on the piece. I don't polish this or anything. This is just exactly how it came out of the box. So for a plate that is,
You don't want to put anything
right,
on
right,
that?
once in a five,
Well, raise it up for now.
that,
Just see what it's like.
I think it's gonna
this
be insane.
Let's see what it's
still
like.
looks pretty darn decent. I don't know what the deal is with the PL54. It would get
That's
just
a lot of
fine. The condition is so good. Randy,
That's a lot of weight, that.
that,
I mean,
I'll figure
that
out
whole
what
thing is cast iron.
Okay, you ready?
Good.
All right, you get this
Not
thing
real
swung around.
fancy, just kind of pretty simple, straightforward.
Turn.
You're gonna have to lift it up.
Aaron, I will when you get there, but you don't
So anyway.
Okay, listen to me. Stop. You don't
You
know what
ready to
you're
go
doing.
on
I don't have
view
enough
cap,
to move
or
it.
just go back in the box for later on?
You need to get way over here. Move that, see that wood? Move it.
I
There.
guess it's going back in the box for later on.
So that's where you want it?
What do you gotta get started that way?
So shove it?
No.
And then, oh, there we go, peak pin, Mac pin.
Aaron,
They all
you
popped
go
up
right
at the
here.
same time.
Go here.
Okay.
You know where you,
Okay.
now look,
Yeah, I see what we're doing.
we're pretty much right there.
So do I need to come,
Can you turn that a little more?
turn this way?
Yes. More.
You need me to come forward?
Yep.
Come
this
away
way.
that
Whoa.
minute ahead,
All
Mark,
right.
Randy at 14.
Slowly down.
Yes.
Pete 17.
You gonna keep a hold of it or just let it go?
And that does it, Pete at 17.
What, all you gotta do is,
Aaron, I wasn't ready.
I'm not going down here, I'm just asking.
You need help.
Well, I can't run this and.
Yes, you can. Put it on, just real slow going down.
Okay, but now or no?
Alright, what do you
What do you
think?
want me to
Guys,
do?
wanna squeeze another
Just
plate
wait
here
for
for
it to
you?
go down.
We actually got the window sticker on it right in here.
Okay, we're on.
The original
I got my spacer made. We're getting it put on.
items are standard.
And once again, I want to shout out to my Nobody's friends.
6-gallon gas tank.
We're on the Nobody show right now. We've got them playing back there.
Our disc
But
brakes.
we're getting that set down,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was awesome, Jeff, that's true.
we're going to kind of check out and see how
Power
that
steering.
transmission mount's going.
Package.
Then we're going to put the heads on this thing
Radio
and the
time.
headers. Want to make sure everything clears, because Thursday I have an appointment to take that engine block to the machine shop to get started on machining work on that engine.
Lighter.
So here we go.
Glove box layer.
All right, get your.
Carpet.
There you have to get you.
Rocker panel moldings, roof drip rail moldings, wheel
We
opening
need
moldings. And
collision
remote
bolts for
interior
the
trim.
mount under there.
it's in there, sort of. We've got it bolted up to these mounts we've got. This transmission cross member's in. We're gonna have to fabricable a mount in here. Things aren't exactly.
No, I don't do no fabric calling, or whatever you're calling it. I have a milling machine. I'll make a proper spacer.
Do it the hard way instead of the fun way. All right
I
then.
will make I have a milling machine. If I have the tools, I'm gonna use it. I have a milling machine. I'm gonna make a proper spacer.
All right then. Have it your way.
I need an 1.5 inch spacer here. We have this set at 4 degrees.
Yep.
And everything that I've looked at is that's where you want your stuff set. And you see these new mounts. We went with the clamshell mounts and did away with the single stud mounts that's on these trucks factory. And so that's what we're doing. But it's in there. We're gonna have to call it a night for tonight, and I need to get some material. I don't think I have any 1.5 inch bar. I need an 1.5 inch. I think I'm gonna get an 1.5 inch square aluminum bar, and that's what I'm gonna make my spacer out of. But did you close in here and show them? You can kind of see what we've got going on.
Yeah, there's a mount with some square tube. We're almost there. It's close. We just got to make up a little difference here.
And if we wanted to use that piece of tubing, we could have bolted that tubing up, and
Yeah,
well, I guess we probably couldn't have, because we couldn't have got the bolt in there.
yeah, couldn't have got the bolt in it and might have crushed the tubing a little bit, but
Yeah.
would have got it in there just enough.
But no, I'm gonna make a proper spacer.
Right.
Okay, so here we are. The motor is bolted up. Transmission and cross members bolted up. We've got our spacer in there. And we got right on the money. We were shooting for 4 degrees of a rake to the back. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I can't see it on the screen. There it is. 4 degrees, right on the money. Is what we were aiming for. And with these mounts, we've got everything right down the center. So very, very good. This is going to work out good. All right, we're going to get the heads and the headers. We're going to get them bolted up. We'll probably put you guys on time lapse again. We're going to get the headers on there and the heads just to see if everything's going to line up. Like I said, Thursday I've got an appointment to take this block to the machine shop. Okay, all right, I'm going to put you back on time lapse, guys. All right, I got to back up where you get me in there. All right, so we've got the heads on there. And I've got these headers that I want to put on here, but we're going to have to do some modification. So this 69 frame, the transmission did not have a cross member. It had a cross member that mounted to the bell housing, which is right here. Now, I was wanting to kind of keep this for some integrity of the frame, but it ain't gonna work. I think if I do anything, I may make something, but right now I'm gonna have to cut this off because it's not gonna happen. This is not gonna work. So if you look, here's our headers, and they hit right there. There's just no way. I can't do it. And they won't bolt. Now, if that was out of the way, it'd go right in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the torch out, and I can tell you one thing I used to live by: if it wiggles, weld it, and if it won't come off, cut it. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to get the torch out, and I'm going to. So let's get the torch fired up, and we'll get that cut because I need to get this mocked up. This is the last thing we got to mock up is these headers. So we're going to do it to it. Let's get the torch going.
In the last 8 seconds.
Going hot. There we go. Let's get this cross member deleted. gave me a case of hot foot. I'm gonna stand over here. Yeah, when the time comes, we'll give it the beats. Ooh. Maybe whack on that side a little more. Something might be left holding it. Well, those headers ought to fit now.
Cross member delete.
All right, we'll put you back up there for a minute.
Why don't you go turn our fan on a little bit, would you?
Woohoo! Yeah. A little smoky in there, Dad.
Is it? I don't know if it is or not. I can't tell. I got these.
As soon as you pick them up, yeah, it's a little smoky.
It's 10 and a half. So both just over 10.
I got these fancy glasses on.
All right, where'd my little bolts go?
All right, we'll come down here. We've got the headers on here, and we had you guys on time lapse. I did have to go ahead and take the cross member all the way out, and I had to make a little bit of a trim right here, and it was still pretty tight in there, but when I shoved that in there, something was going to move. And so we just kind of tweaked these tubes in just a little bit, and it fits fine now. I'm going to box this part of the frame, but like I said, we've got this all mocked up. This is going to work. This combo is going to work, and I'm really happy with this because this has saved me some money. I've had this transmission for several years. I think I bought it. I think I paid $300 for this. A guy had it on one of those places, either Craigslist, face thing, whatever it is. And the engine was free to me. I just had to help my buddy take them utility trucks apart. Now the bell housing, that was some bucks there. That's actually a genuine Advanced Adapters bell housing. And the headers I bought last year down at Summit in Dallas, and they were on their display rack, and I think I paid $60 for those, and they fit. They're for this generation of engine, so they fit the heads well. They fit between the frame. We just kind of had to tweak them a little bit. Like I said, with this bar about as tall as I am, I could get it to move. Why don't you walk around and go over there and show them over there. Starter's good. The headers doesn't hit any of there. Got plenty of room.
Got all the room in the world over here now.
I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do next is we're going to take this engine out, and I'm going to take it to the machine shop and get it worked on. And then I'm going to start working on the suspension on this. And I hope to get it knocked out in a couple of weeks, and then we can start figuring out how to start with the body, because the cab for this rig is going to need some work. The rest of the body panels are going on as it is, but the cab, the original cab for this, I'll show you guys when we get that far. The floor and the firewall were in really bad shape. So I've got another cab and it's got some issues. Somebody in the 70s decided they wanted to put a sunroof in it about that big. So we're gonna have to be doing some work on the roof. And it's really strange. It's got a hole in the roof about that big, but the floors in it are pretty good shape.
So you
They're
don't want
not
to
bad.
keep
Just
the
a little
sunroof,
patchwork
Dad?
in the floors, huh?
You don't want to keep the sunroof, Dad?
I don't want to keep the sunroof.
Oh, come on.
I'm not into the late 70s, early 80s sunroof in a pickup.
Coulda had
I
a-
know they were putting them in there, and you know, no, maybe in a van that might be all right. I'd go for a sunroof in the van, some portholes on the sides. Yeah, that would I'd go for. But in a 1969 Chevy 3/4 ton, no. So that's what we're doing, and so we'll get back with you here in a little bit because I think we're probably going to wrap this one up. So I think I may have a sign off next, but that's what we're doing. If you guys look, we got it going. We've got it ready to go, all mocked up. Okay, so here we are. Engine and transmission is in here. Heads are on here. Headers are on there. So this part is all mocked up. So what I've got coming up next is I've got everything to change this front end over to disc brakes, and I've got another rear end I'm going to put in the back of this thing, and a different set of trailing arms. But like I said, this Thursday I've got an appointment. We're going to go ahead and end this video now, but I've got an appointment next Thursday to take this engine block in to get it rebuilt. So everybody, Copper, you got anything to say?
Well, all I really want to make sure the internet knows is old Copper, he got him a new job. He's gonna get him some weekends off. So I'm gonna be having a whole lot more videos now, and got a couple projects coming down the pipe, and just look forward for y'all getting to see those.
Okay, so we're going to sign off. That's going to do it for this video. We're going to make this one kind of short. I'm going to try to make some shorter ones so that we can go ahead and get them out. I've had major issues trying to get these out. I just don't really have the time, and I got somebody helping me, and they don't really have time, but that's what we're working on. So we're going to go ahead and end this one, and we'll see you guys on the next one. The next one we'll be doing some suspension work, either on the front or back, one of the two. But that's what's going on, and we'll catch y'all later.